Hello everyone, this is Nintendrone, and welcome back to Pokemon Colosseum. If you remember in the last episode, we went over a lot of basics of the game and learned a few of the basic plotline stuff of what is starting to happen, but we heard that there were some shady people that were going somewhere in Fennec. Now, despite the fact that everything looks fine, let's go to the mayor's house to see just how fine everything is, because if something were going on, this is probably where it would take place. So we walk on in, and there's Master Mirror B. It's him. He's the one that took the girl from us. Oh, now aren't you boys frightfully pathetic? You mean to tell me you were bested by these darling infants? We're not infants. I mean, for Pokemon game standards, we're kind of older. But whatever. Darling, did you say your name was Wes or something? I still don't like saying this, but we're not at liberty to keep your lady friend at liberty. That sweet young thing, she can see things that ordinary people aren't supposed to see. That just will not do for what we're planning to do. No, it just won't do at all. If you don't like pain, like most people, you can avoid the pain by keeping your nose out of places it needn't be. Boys, oh boys. Yes, yes we will. Boys, I shall make my return to Pyrite now. Do remember that I will be waiting for you to return with the little lady. Am I making myself clear? I won't accept failure from you again, boys. Fwo-ho-ho-ho. Interesting laugh. Let the music spin. Let's get it on. And this person, as you notice, has their own theme song, which is kind of awesome. Getting your own personal theme song that plays whenever you walk out. And those three guys, we'll probably deal with them later at some point, I imagine. You! The last time you caught me off guard. That's not going to happen again. And we get a rematch with Folly, the loser that we beat up like just a short bit ago. Now he's a Mirror B peon instead of a shady guy, so moving up in the world. He has a Whismer again, only this time he replaced one of his Whismers with a Lotad. It's actually low level 25, so not all that impressive, but you can't blame the guy for trying. Once again, we still only have Umbreon Espeon. Umbreon will continue to use Bite, and we'll use it on Lotad since it's the weaker one, level-wise, and Confusion on Whismer, and hope we can get the one-shot, maybe? I don't know. We'll find out. Awesome, good. Like I say, Whismer is not that strong. And I know that Umbreon, there's no way Umbreon's going to one-hit this Lotad. But Lotad, luckily, is not much of a threat to us. Oh, critical hit, never mind. The game loves to prove me wrong. It would have never one-shot him had it not been critical hit, but not going to complain. I'll take lucky critical hits. Player defeated Mirror B Peon Folly. Ah, blast it. I got tripped up again. I wasn't tripped up, you just got destroyed, like usual. And now for the interesting part. My turn now. I'm not going to end up like Folly. The other guy, Trudley, whatever you want to call him. He is a little more interesting. He has a Duskull and a Spinarak. Now, Spinarak is part Poison type, Duskull is Ghost type, so we have the type advantage on both of these, which is very nice for us. Definitely what we want. So we'll use Bite on Duskull and Confusion on Spinarak. Spinarak will most definitely die. Duskull will probably tank it, because Duskull is a pretty tanky-ish Pokemon, I guess you could say. But at least his evolutions are. Dusclops is amazing. Get some XP, and now Makuhita. Level 30, and suddenly Rui decides to be useful. Wes, it's that one, that Pokemon. Those jerks captured me because I saw that Pokemon. I can see a black aura coming from it. They must have done something to that Pokemon. And it punches. Oh, scary. Wes, be careful. This Pokemon isn't afraid to attack people. I know, Wes. I hate to say this, but there's no other choice. Get that Pokemon back from the bad guys. Please, you have to. You can. Actually, only you can do it. Pretty silly. She's freaking out about it. I mean, it's funny they talk about that they can attack trainers, but there's actually no point when that actually becomes a thing, so nothing to worry about. Nightshade. Not too much damage because Umbreon is... Well, it actually doesn't matter. That's the one type of move that it doesn't matter if you're a tank or not. It does equal damage to your level, so it was going to do 25 damage regardless of our defense or any stats. Okay, and we're going to use Return on Makuhita. Obviously, Confusion would be super effective. He's fighting type and would one-shot him, but we don't want to one-shot him because, as Rui said, we want to snag him. So we'll do Return since we have low attack. Ooh, I just realized this could get a little dicey here because Umbreon's Dark type, which puts us at a grave danger of Makuhita just like one-shotting Umbreon here after that damage from Nightshade. Oh, Vital Throw. This might hurt a little bit. No, he did it to Espeon. It was a critical hit. Interesting. That Makuhita also has Cross Chop, so it can be a little interesting. Okay, what do I want to do here? We'll just Secret Power up him and throw a Pokeball on Espeon's turn. You can only throw one Pokeball a turn, so you can't like double up with it. So plan accordingly, obviously. And we finally get to use our Pokeballs for once. This may or may not catch it because I did not weaken him very much. 2, 3... Yes, we're good. We defeated him, and we've captured our first Pokemon. What? My Pokemon. And I will very quickly here go into detail about Makuhita. Here. Okay, Makuhita is a fighting type Pokemon. As you can see, he, like most fighting type Pokemon, has fairly high attack rate. You can see his catch rate is very high, very easy Pokemon to catch. But his moveset is pretty decent. He has Cross Chop in his last move slot, which is extremely nice fighting type move. Highly recommend. And overall, if you want a fighting type, I would get him. His stats may not look very good right now, but you have to remember he is still an Unevolved basic form Pokemon. So, if you want a fighting type, Makuhita is an alright one to pick up. I personally am not going to be using him, but I can see why you may want to use him. One thing of note with all Shadow Pokemon, the first move in their move slot is unavailable for a while. It will be replaced with Shadow Rush, which is a move that I will go into when we're using it. But just something to keep in mind. But like I say, Makuhita is a perfectly alright choice. Darn it, but you're good. You snagged my Pokemon. Hey, what are you saying? You're not supposed to be impressed. Oh man, what are we supposed to do? We got flattened again. Mirror B's gonna chew us out. What do we do? What is there to do? Run away! And they flee. You did it, Wes. You snagged that Pokemon from that goon. I'm sure there are others like it. Let's get all of them back from the bad guys. And that is our goal. Instead of catching them all as normal Pokemon games, we're going to snag them all Shadow Pokemon. And like I say earlier, Makuhita fighting type, pretty good stats if you want to use it. But here's the thing with Shadow Pokemon. He's only going to begin with Shadow Rush. His other moves are locked for now. And Shadow Rush takes up his first move slot. His heart gauge, as you can see down there, is where his XP normally is with another Pokemon. It is fully shut, and as we use him in battles and carry him around, it will slowly open, and that will unlock more moves and information for us. So, that's the basic gist of how Shadow Pokemon work. Now, if you notice, this green guy is standing at this entrance, or exit, whatever you want to call it. It's technically both. And if you go to another one, this red guy is guarding it. So, as you can imagine, the blue guy is guarding the final one. This is where you have to make a decision, because this is the one instance in the game where you have to pick what Pokemon you want to snag. I will go into detail right now about 2 of those Pokemon. Okay, so the first Pokemon we have here is Bayleaf, the Grass Johto starter in its second evolution form. As you can see, its catch rate, it may look 45 out of 255 like it's something scary, but it's not that hard to catch. Anyway, it has Sunny Day, Synthesis, Razor Leaf, and Body Slam. Not too bad. Synthesis is boosted by Sunny Day, as would allow Sunny Day would also allow Solar Beam later on to be used instantly instead of having to charge for a turn. So it can work, although remember Sunny Day will be unavailable for a fairly long time. Its stats are alright, much more defensive like a lot of grass types. However, unlike other grass types, Bayleaf just doesn't get the awesome stalling grass moves that you look for in your average grass starter. Overall, to be brutally honest, Bayleaf is probably my least favorite of the Johto starters, one of my least favorite starters in general, and just a fairly weak grass type that there's just better options out there. If you want to have it, he can certainly play some role on your team and is by no means unusable, but there's just better options with our other two that we will go into. But anyway, like I say, I'm obviously probably not going to use Bayleaf because screw Bayleaf. The other option we have here is Croconaw, the water Johto starter in its second evolution form. It has Rain Dance, Scary Face, Bite, and Surf. As you can imagine, that is a very good combo. Once again, Rain Dance will be not available until later, but very good. Makes Thunder 100% accuracy and strengthens water type moves, weakens fire. Very, very good move. Scary Face is just whatever, but Surf is the big move here. That is an unbelievably powerful water type move that hits both of your opponents, and this is before Surf actually hurts you, so it only hurts your opponents. Extremely powerful water type move, making this an extremely strong Pokemon to add to your team. I highly recommend if you want a water type and you don't like any others in this game, this is definitely the one for you, and you can't really go wrong with picking Croconaw here. Like I say, very good Pokemon, has a lot of use in double battle teams, and gets very good moves and type coverage later on. And overall, just a nice member of your team if you want it. However, do be warned, Rain Dance, if you're going to have a fire type on your team, is counterproductive, so just something to keep in mind. But other than that, like I say, Croconaw, great choice to have on your team. Okay, and now that you see what the other two are, you can probably guess what the third one is, and that will be the one that I am planning to catch and have as a member of my party over here with the red one, and that Pokemon is going to be, let's join this battle, we're crying and regret later, but that Pokemon will be, come on, send it out, come on, you can do it, Quilava, the Johto Fire Starter's second form, and I will go into detail quite quickly about Quilava and his stats. Here we have Quilava, the second evolution form of the Fire Johto starter. As you can see, he is your average fire type. He has Sunny Day, Smokescreen, Dig, and Flame Wheel. Dig gives him an interesting ground type move that can also help him because he can avoid an attack. So, just some options. Smokescreen, extremely useful for snagging Shadow Pokemon, as he can, when you're chucking Pokeballs at them, just lower their accuracy where they cannot hurt themselves with recoil from Shadow Rush. Flame Wheel, very good fire type move, and Sunny Day powers up your fire type moves and can also be used with a grass type with Solar Beam later on. His stats are, as you can imagine, high special attack, pretty high speed, not the highest obviously, but still more than usable. He's not squishy so much, however, he still is definitely not a bulky defensive Pokemon, so something you want to keep in mind. I'm going to be using him because I like Quilava and his form a lot. He has the same final form stats as Charizard will once he evolves, so something to keep in mind. If you've used a Charizard and you like it, he's going to pack about the same amount of punch. So overall, like I say, very good fire type. It's really him and Croconaw. You just basically pick which one you like better between the two. And I slightly like Quilava more, and that's why he is going to be the next member of my team. And anyway, like I say, I like Quilava. Very nice Pokemon if you want a fire type. Very good fire type. Not much else to say. He has, I believe, if I'm correct, the same, we're going to use Bite on him, Confusion on Grimer, the same basic stats in his final form of Typhlosion as Charizard does, so if you ever use a Charizard, you're getting the same basic type of power, just different. He's just so fire type. So yeah, I like him. His design's cool, and honestly can't go wrong with a fire starter. He has Smokescreen, which Smokescreen's actually extremely useful for snagging Pokemon later on when you need to buy time, like killing turns and stuff like that. Very useful. We'll bite him, see how much that weakens him. Not much. That's what I mean. Umbreon is very weak. We'll do our bite on Spoink and return on Quilava. Try to get Quilava down into the yellow, and it missed. Of course it did. Flame Wheel, there we go. Nice power there. Luckily Umbreon doesn't care, because Umbreon is awesome. But yeah, like I say, we're going to try to get him down to the yellow. We'll work on killing Spoink off, and then toss Pokeballs at him and try to catch him. Psywave doesn't affect him. Okay. AI in this game. Why do you use a Psychic type move on my Dark type? Why? I don't understand sometimes. The AI will do dumb stuff like that. If you have Levitate, sometimes it'll use a ground move targeted at you. If you're a Ghost type, it may hit you with a normal type, but that's a bit of a new one. I don't think I've ever actually seen it directly use a Psychic type on Umbreon. Psychic type move. But I'll take it. So Umbreon will finish off Spoink here. Unfortunately, because of that annoyance with Smokescreen, Quilava has a little more health than I anticipated at this point. But we'll use Bite on Quilava in case this doesn't catch and throw a Pokeball. Obviously, you could use a Great Ball if you want to, but you probably don't need to. Plus, there's something wrong about having a starter Pokemon form in anything other than a Pokeball. It's just wrong. One. Nope. Dang. First one to fail. And that's going to be a common theme in this game. We will fail many attempts with some of these later Pokemon. Like I say, he has very high health, so that was to be expected. That was a possibility. Now, one thing to keep note when we're getting him now into lower health, and I'm going to actually quit attacking him, we'll just use Taunt or whatever. When you get him into lower health, since he has Shadow Rush, as we noticed that all Shadow Pokemon do have Shadow Rush, that causes recoil damage, like if you use a move like Takedown or something. 1, 2, 3, and we got him. Nice. So keep that in mind. They can KO themselves if you get bad luck, so don't get them too low if you're running the risk of them doing that. You're tough. Truly and Folly can't be blamed for losing. Yeah, see, we get complimented. So anyway, we've caught Arnage. What was that strange Pokemon? What did you people do to it? That? It's a Pokemon that we turned into a fighting machine by artificially closing the door to its heart. No, you didn't! You artificially closed the door to that poor Pokemon's heart? Does that make any sense to anybody? Like, what? Okay, that's cool. What does that mean? Knowing that's not going to help you do anything. Yeah, especially because I don't know what that means. I know, when I was little I heard about that. They say that if a Pokemon closes the door to its heart, it can be gradually reopened by battling together with it. Wes, let's go. Those guys are probably headed for Pyrite Town. After all, it was in Pyrite that they captured. Before we go to Pyrite Town, let's go heal up. Sound like a plan? So, anyway, as they said, as Rui told us, and I believe I mentioned that earlier already, you can battle with Pokemon to open the door to their heart, and eventually you get more moves and whatnot. So that is what we're going to do. Since Umbreon is already a higher level by a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and switch him for Quilava, just so we can get Quilava's in battle again. But as they said, we need to head to Pyrite Town, so let's go ahead and do that. There's nothing else immediately on the to-do list here in Fnac. We'll be back eventually, probably. You have to go to the construction lot here first, just because the game wants you to see it, I guess. You can see a really nice fancy Colosseum off in the distance, so no harm in that. But you can talk to these guys, they have nothing of value to tell you. So the quickest thing is to just go ahead and back out, and now we can go to Pyrite, which is, if you look how far we've made it, we've actually crossed the entire south part of the map, so progress, slowly. And here we are in Pyrite Town. Gonna be spending a lot more time here than we had just spent in Fnac, so make yourself acquainted with it. Aw, Mr. Johnson, give a man a break here. I keep telling you, I don't know anything. That better be true, Kale. If you're trying to con me, I'll know about it. Mr. Johnson, sir, I wouldn't think about lying to you. You've got to believe me, right? Alright, fine. I'll let you off easy today. See ya. And he leaves. Hehehe, what a nitwit. Of course I haven't got a thing to tell you. So as you can kind of see, that gives us a bit of a insight to how the people in this town are. It's a little bit of a rougher area, which is funny because this is the only Pokemon place in most games that there's actually a police station and police people working. But let's talk to this KO gentleman. What are you looking at? I haven't seen your faces around these parts. What are you, tourist? If you don't want to get hurt, you should get lost, and quick, for the good of your health. Hehehe. Okay, just gotta say, Rui said that she was kidnapped here because she saw Shadow Pokemon. He stands here and seems to be paying attention to everybody. How does he not know Rui? You'd think he'd be like, hey, you were the one that I saw for like a short bit. Let's talk to this old guy. This is Pyrite, the town of Earth, Wind, and Money. You appear to be outsiders. You had best beware. There are many ne'er-do-well sorts here. Thanks for the warning. Now, if you come to this building here, you actually need to progress the story. So go ahead and just pop in here. And we see that police from earlier. Ow, 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 ow. I'm sorry, Chief, but there's trouble afoot. You see, Chief, there's talk that thugs been witnessed using strange Pokemon. Huh? Chief? You're not the Chief. I beg your pardon. I'm here, Johnson. That story's new. I've heard about it over and over already. Oh. Oh, Chief, there you are. You're such a kidder. And you need to do that to get that cutscene. There's a PC here in case you need to save. Some awesome pictures in the background of some people that look familiar-ish. Can't talk to this guy. However, if you come here, it's just mildly interesting. Our two buddies are here. You can talk to them. What? Not you two again. Listen, you have to promise. Don't tell Mirror B that we're hiding out here, okay? After we blew our last chance, we couldn't go back, so we turned ourselves in for stealing that truck, and here we are. If we stayed here, we'd be safe. So, just interesting, they turned themselves in because they're scared of Mirror B, which I guess is trying to build up Mirror B as kind of a bit of a scary character. And we're starting to learn how this organization, this crime organization, seems to be more than it just appeared. We have fortune telling here. There's no point in going in there right now. This building, I don't believe there's a point to it, but we'll peek inside just to be sure. Yeah, just an old lady that I don't think is. Please leave. Okay, fine. If they tell us to get out, then get out. It's kind of rude, I guess, to break into people's house. There's an item shop here if you need to use it. So, something to keep in mind. This hotel, as it says, you can pay 100 Pokédollars to restore your team to full health, which is entirely pointless because if you go further up the Colosseum, you can use the healing machine for free. So, there's really no point to go to the hotel unless you just want to. And we can talk to this gentleman. Yo, your outfit's kind of weird, but you're a trainer too, aren't you? Well, your outfit's kind of weird. But yeah. Good. That's okay then. I'll teach you about one of the few rules this town has. Here we have street battles rather than exchanging greetings. So yes, if you talk to almost anyone in this town, you will be thrown into a battle. Something to keep in mind. He has a Sentrant and a Taillow, nothing to really worry about, pretty low level, pretty weak. We will send out Quilava and Espeon. And as you can see, Quilava's heart gauge is already opened a little bit, just from having him in our party, and it opened even more after sending him out. So that's how you do it. Once again, we only have Shadow Rush. It has no PP, it has no type, neutral of everything except other Shadow Pokemon. So we'll just use it for now. Ooh, quick attack from Taillow. Not bad. Quilava took 10 damage. And also, as you can guess, you cannot level up your Shadow Pokemon. So, something to keep in mind, the heart gauge is at the XP bar for a reason. There is no leveling up Quilava. Which means you have to be careful, because yeah, he's level 30 when you get him, but that's not going to last. You're not going to have the edge, at least, for very long, level-wise. Ooh, one-shot Taillow, nice. Obviously, we took recoil damage, which I mentioned before. That's kind of the risk-reward when using Shadow Pokemon. They're very powerful, but always run that risk if you use Shadow Rush. And let's kill Slack off. There's no way he's living. Definitely no way he's living through this. And easy fight. Like I say, you don't have to fight this guy, but to be honest, this game, early on here, it's looking like a cakewalk, and it is, but in the later stages of the game, even mid-game, it gets really hard, getting to the point it's probably one of the tougher Pokemon games out there. I tripped myself up, but you're not bad at all. Your Pokemon are tops too. I can see it in your eyes. You're just like us. It's easy to see. Anyway, like I say, it's a very challenging Pokemon game in the late game, so any levels and XP you can get, go ahead and get them. That's the same case with here. This is kind of also a fun little dialogue. Oh, look what we have here. You're quite the hottie. Why don't you lose that wallflower with you and be my sweetie? Wait a second. Who are you to call me a wallflower? What about me makes me a wallflower? Look at her. She's all serious, uncool. I'm only teasing out of boredom. A guy like him, he's not to my taste. Grr. That's it. I'm furious now. Wes, be a man. Stomp her down. Stomp? Who? Me? That's a laugh. Come on then. I'll go easy on you. And once again, this fight is entirely optional with Emok, whatever you want to call her. But I just think the dialogue is kind of amusing. Alright. As you can see, levels are getting a little higher with some of these Pokemon, but once again, you know, Zubats, Gulpins, this stuff is not going to be a threat to you at all, really. And Espeon is super effective against both of these. I'm going to target Gulpin first just because Gulpin is probably slightly more powerful than Zubat, maybe? Guess that's up for debate, but whatever. Ah, that is so close to level up. Oh, and you can see Quilava has moved the bar to his heart almost all the way into the next thing. Yeah, he's into the next thing now. Ooh, Gust. Which means he will have a new move unlocked, which I will show right here. If I remember correct, it should be, what, Smokescreen? Oh. So he doesn't have it unlocked yet. And it's close. He will have Smokescreen, like, the next battle we send him out into. That's disappointing. We'll just use Return, just because. Finish this fight pretty easy, pretty quick. There we go, we get that level up. I apologize, part of the reason that some of the, I might misread things or missee something is this game on my television, for some reason, it's just so hard to see some little details like that, like, is the heart gauge into the next block or not when it's right on the border? But yeah, that's my excuse at least. What kind of man battles a frail little girl like me without easing up? You're not going to win the hearts of girls that way. So after wanting to fight us, then she complains. Wes, it was here in this square that I saw that strange Pokemon. I tried to leave town afterwards, and that's when those creeps grabbed me. We should be careful. Even at the best of times, there's nothing normal about this town. So as you can see, there's some people here all just chilling, because apparently that's what you do in the Pokemon world. All of these trainers here that you see have Shadow Pokemon. We are going to have to snag every single one of them. However, first I'm going to go and heal at the Pyrite Colosseum, because like I say, there's no point in healing at the hotel, because the Colosseum's literally right here. It's not even like a long walk. And like I say, that's a lot of Pokemon that we're going to have to snag. So if you want to go get some Pokeballs, feel free to do so. And the advantage with these Pokemon are Pokemon later that if you KO them, you're screwed for a long time. And I'll make note of some of those. However, these Shadow Pokemon, if you lose your chance at catching them in the first go-around, if you KO one, it's not that big a deal because these trainers, you can keep fighting them as many times as you want. So don't panic when trying to catch them and do anything stupid. Now, before we catch them, let's go into this place that has, I guess that's supposed to be a G. When I was younger, I used to think it looked like a Pokeball. Whatever. But let's go in here very quickly. And we have this big guy who's kind of rude. The name's Duking. I run the Colosseum here. If you want to enter a battle, go see the Colosseum's receptionist. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm busy. In case you're wondering, you cannot enter the Colosseum right now. But let's talk to this little punk. I'm the lookout. Nobody's supposed to get by me. There's nothing special behind the bookshelf. Let's see if there's something special behind the bookshelf. There's a button on the side of the bookshelf. Press it, of course. Which, if you think about it, that's kind of cool that kids have a secret bookshelf door. And here we have some little children. Let's talk to them. My sister hasn't done any chatter. I'm so bored. I want to play house. Let's talk to her sister. Are you Papa's friends? I'm Marcia. I'm pleased to meet you. But sorry, we're busy. We're talking about something that's quite important. Please come visit and play with us another time. And let's talk to the last one. That's why, Marcio. We've got to somehow snag them from those criminals. What? You startled me. How did you get in here? That's weird. My little brother is supposed to be on lookout. Anyway, these little kids, they seem to be talking maybe about shadow Pokemon. Who knows? They're talking about snagging, so. When you walk out, duking, how much more are you going to take from Mirror B and his stooges? They're using you in the Colosseum. What is the matter with you? Have they sucked the spirit right out of you? So you just clam up. I've lost faith in you. Quite interesting. The man that went out is Silva. He's Duking's friend. But he was really angry. His face looked all scary. Don't worry about it, kid. So anyway, looks like there may be some interesting things, because Mirror B seems to have the owner of the Colosseum in his pocket. But we will investigate that and catch these shadow Pokemon all in the square in the next episode, because that's episode's getting kind of long, and that will be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment down below if you enjoyed it or have any suggestions, and I hope you join us for the next episode and enjoy it. Thank you very much for watching.